And Karl tends to speak for ages, so I'm going to try and limit him to 20 minutes. You can never get him off the phone. Very clever man, though. Right, so he is watching. Now I'm going to invite him. Go live, Karl. Connecting. This is a good start. There he is.
Yo.
And I can hear you.
Oh man. Yeah, can you see me okay? My internet's
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, you look blurry, and also that I think there's a slight lag.
Hold up. Coach, and I think you're similar, is to not alienate people. And also,
And they're kind of like,
this gives people.
comes back. Oh, what a fun game. Okay,
Are we back?
Okay, you look a bit better. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is all gone south.
No, I mean, it's not so bad.
Okay, let me turn you up. Right. Oh, we might have got it working.
Hmm?
Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, you're a bit fuzzy, but I can hear you, so that's fine.
Well, then that's the main thing. But that means, so, I mean, I looked up.
Yeah, I get how good your beard is from this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm upset about.
And I mean, that was the main point of the live.
Yeah, I know. And like, I've been tending to it all day in preparation for this.
Oh, God. Well, we could post a few pictures of you after.
This is it. Well, we'll just make do with what we got. How are you anyway?
Is that a beer?
It's a non-alcoholic beer, but yes, it is a beer.
Ah. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Karl and who Karl is. And recently, what I think is quite interesting is that recently you've stopped drinking and you've found you're much more productive.
I found Jesus.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
no, I didn't. Yeah. So basically, did a bit of a life assessment and kind of took a look at the areas of my life that weren't quite where I wanted them to be, and listed some factors as to why that may be. And the one common denominator amongst all of them was alcohol. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it 30 days, see what happens. And that was 120 days ago, roughly. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm not anti-alcohol by any means. And I think it's definitely just the right thing for me to do. And if anyone else is interested, like, I'd sit down and have a conversation, but I'm not like getting preachy about it, if you know what I mean.
Everyone needs to give up. I know, whenever I see like, what is it, Sober October and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I actually drink enough to merit doing that. Like, I'd probably do it by accident anyway, but...
Well, this is it. And I think that what I've learned is everyone has a different relationship with alcohol. And it's therefore down to each individual. I think what they're getting at now is, obviously there's a new study that came out, I don't know if you saw it, that for alcohol-related illnesses, the amount of alcohol you can drink is 0. So any alcohol you consume is putting you at risk of something. But then, you know, the argument against that is obviously if you step into a car, well, you're at risk as well. But at least you've got the information from which to make your own decision. Whereas before, it was very blurry. It's like, okay, can I have a drink? Can't I have a drink? Red wine's good for you. Red wine's bad for you. And I think months like that, they do create an awareness around it. I think it just gives people enough of a why to just go for those 30 days. But ultimately, like, if you're looking to make it a habit, it's not always long enough, and it can just be a bit kind of like doing it for the excitement and the social media buzz rather than a deeper purpose.
Yeah, but I guess it is like a bit of a buy-in. It makes people realize, like, some people would be like, I could never do that, and then after 30 days they're like, I actually don't even miss it, and I've been much more productive, and I saved a shed load of money, and yeah.
Right. Well, that's me.
Anyway, back to the point of the the live. So we were chatting today, and we were talking about how there seems to almost be like two separate camps when it comes to fitness. When you've got on the one side people who make out like it's extremely hard to get in shape, that it needs to be your whole lifestyle, that you need to be doing fasted cardio in the morning, that you need to stick to your diet plan religiously, that you can't eat carbs, that you have to eat at certain times, that you really have to live the lifestyle and it's extremely restrictive. And then on the flip side, you've got people who almost make out like it's really easy to stay in shape, like they've got a six-pack year round, and sort of give the impression that they maybe follow If It Fits Your Macros, and they have a really good life balance, and they have a great social life, and they're gymming a couple of times a week and managing to maintain this amazing physique. And then you've got people coming into the industry, or just trying to get a bit fitter and healthier, or maybe they've got aspirations of having a similar physique, and they're kind of like, right, well, where is the, who do I follow? Do I need to do ridiculous amount of training and stick to my nutrition, absolutely spot on, and make this my sole priority in my lifestyle? Or can I have flexibility and do what, the opposite of that is, which is, these people that are maintaining their physique apparently so easily?
Right. And I think the easy answer is it depends, right?
Yeah, or it's somewhere in the middle.
Right, but obviously we're going to offer more than that and discuss more than that. But I think the main thing is obviously context, right? Because you need to know the whole story. Like, if I think in today's world where it's so noisy, you have to have quite a strong stance. You have to have your position. Because as soon as you get a bit fuzzy and people don't know what you stand for, people get confused, or it becomes confusing. So I think you belong to a camp. It's no longer good enough to kind of have the opinion of, okay, well, carbs are good in some cases, bad in others, because that blurs the lines. People like it, like, oh, I'm pro carb, I'm anti carb, and you belong to one tribe or another. And I think it is, the thing is, you're always going to find followers no matter how right or wrong you are. But I just think my goal as a coach, and I think you're similar, is to not alienate people, and also consider the mental health of the people that are listening to these or are looking at the social media posts, and so you've got to think, okay, well, am I helping this person not only achieve a better physique, but also not messing them up in the head as well?
Yeah, you said something really nice. What we're coaching for really is to make people happier, and the way we know how to do that. The benefits of being healthy, being fit, being active, being in a body that you feel comfortable and confident in, that produces happiness. And that is basically what you're trying to sell as a personal trainer. But I think that gets lost along the way. And, people see these quick transformations.
I think for sure.
They want the physique, but really they want what comes with the physique, which what they hope or they think is confidence, is a lifestyle. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to argue that I think, people think that when they're going to look like their favorite Instagram model or something, completely like this incredible physique, they're going to be happy. And I'm going to argue that you're not. I think that, because then it's what next? Because the thing is, you get to this incredible physique, like even if you achieve it, there's probably someone that's bigger than you, leaner than you, I don't know, gets more coverage than you. Huh?
No one's bigger than me.
This is true. I mean, I'm going to argue that no one's leaner than you. I mean, seriously, I think I did a photo shoot prep and didn't get as lean as you.
No one has a bigger forehead than me.
Huh?
No one has a bigger forehead than me. And that is
You can't train that.
No, you just can't. You're born with it.
So, obviously, let's delve into the two camps then, because I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Now, people are going to look at
That's my favourite game.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Devil's Advocate used to be a strip club in Norwich. Anyway, so I'm going to play devil's advocate. People are going to look at your Instagram, and let's say that they don't spend too much time on it, and at a glance, they're going to look at you and they're going to go either like, oh, it's easy for you to say you're in incredible shape, and they're going to assume that you either train every day and don't make a mistake, or that you've got like some sort of natural ability and you don't have to work hard for it, right? So what would your response to that be?
What would my response be?
So, you know, it's like, yeah, so someone comes up to you and they're gonna arrive at one of two conclusions, I think, which is look at your physique. And interestingly, when I was tagging you today, I think you got tagged. It was years ago, but I don't know how I found it. It came up on Google search, and it was a photo of you when you're holding the American football, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm talking like 3 years ago, but it's the first thing. Interestingly, look it up. When you Google ESG fitness on Instagram, so I was trying to get your hand, it came up, and the one and only comment was, "This is too much." So I mean, everyone's got an opinion. Yeah. Now the other opinion I think people would have about it is they're going to look at all these photos of you and they're going to assume that you never make a mistake nutrition wise and you train every day. And then when you kind of come back with, no, that's not the case, then they're going to be like, okay, well, that's because you don't have to, and assume that you've got some kind of genetic ability that, you know, that you just don't have to do anything and you're always going to look that way. Now, what is ESG's reality?
I think the reality is, for some, you know, so if we're looking at the people who maybe say like, this is it's kind of easy to stay in shape. And I mean, I've probably been guilty of saying that as well. But what I mean is it's quite easy for me because going to the gym isn't a forced behavior for me. You know, it's not something I have to spend willpower on. I enjoy going to the gym. It's part of my lifestyle. It's like a routine, it's habit. So in terms of my exercise component, I don't spend any willpower doing that. And in terms of my nutrition, yeah, I eat pretty well most of the time, like probably 90% of the time. But in my head, it's quite easy to eat well because I enjoy eating that way and it's sort of a habit. So I can see where people who give the impression that staying in shape is easy come from, because for them it probably is. As in, they've created these habits that are just daily routines for them. They don't feel like they're deprived. They don't feel like they're restricting themselves. They don't feel like they have to go to the gym. They just want to. All these aspects that are now just part of their like daily, you know, it's how they live. So it's not an effort for them. Whereas if you took all those actions, which are for other people quite hard to instill, you know, it's not easy for some people. They don't want to be as active as I am, or go to the gym as often as I do, or eat the same foods that I do. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, it's not, for some people, yeah, someone's like, if you're staying in shape is hard if you train bloody hard and eat well. Like, yeah, it's true, but I think it's the perception of, if you find that that is either restricting you nutritionally wise or socially, or if you find that like going to the gym is a chore rather than something that you want to do, it's more your perspective of how things are. Because let's not lie, like the way I train, the way I live my life, like for a lot of people that would be a really hard thing to do. And you know, like not that I have the most amazing physique in the world, but having a good physique takes work. Like, there's no denying that. Someone says they love the struggle, but again, like
I'm going to come back to that.
I don't train as hard, and I think it almost comes back to, you'll see a lot of, like we mentioned Ollie Foster, and he was saying how much easier it was for him to maintain his physique. So he's a cover model, and now he's sort of taken a step back. He's more relaxed about things, but he's able to maintain that physique. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's memory," or "There's some physiological thing going on," and maybe there's a small part of that. I'm very much not convinced of that, but I think it's more that the way his lifestyle is doesn't feel wants to, but yet it lends to an amazing physique. And yeah, there will be some muscle memory in terms of once you've built muscle, if you continue to stimulate it, and you don't need to be training to your absolute max. If you stimulate a muscle, then you're basically reminding your body that it's going to be used, that it wants to be used, and it wants to stay. It will stay. And if you give it the fuel and nutrition to maintain, at least, then you're going to maintain that muscle mass. And then if you eat to somewhere within your energy requirements, basically you're going to maintain the physique you've got. So right. I think, yeah, once you've got in shape, you know what it takes, and your lifestyle is sort of built to some extent around that, it can seem like it's easy. So I can see where people are coming from, but it's not the perspective of a newbie starting. Like, it's not easy for them.
No. And that's where I think it's a very individual thing, isn't it? Because like you can't, and that's like, I think what you touched on there is behavior. And so many people like want to follow, if they see someone in shape, they want to follow their workout, or they want to follow the diet that they follow. And what they should really be looking at is, what do they do day in, day out? Like, how do they live, gym included and nutrition included, rather than trying to just. And I think what happens is, because obviously what we're talking about is fitness in isolation. So, it's like, how long should I work out for? It's like that hour of the day. Let's take a workout as an hour, just to keep things simple, right?
That's funny. Hey, Ollie, we just mentioned you.
Is Ollie on here?
Yeah, he's just watching now.
Bongo? Is my internet working all right?
Yeah, you're fine.
So yeah, did Ollie come on here?
Yeah.
All right, Bongo. Huh?
Like, oh
my... So where was I? Anyway, right. Yeah, so if you isolate fitness, which is kind of what we're doing in this conversation, it's a bit of a mistake, I feel, because let's take, like I'm sure there's a meme, like it's like a workout is only 1% of your day, right? And have you seen that? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not, because that's just a massive generalization. Second of all, but let's just take that a workout is an hour to keep things simple, right? Now that hour carries a different weight depending on who you are. So that hour for someone who holds a 9-to-5 job, has 2 children, whose partner works away, and is also, let's say, trying to learn a language or do a hobby to keep themselves sane, that hour is very different to an influencer who has 8 hours a day and all they have to do is really take pictures in the gym for social media, right?
Hey.
So...
Nothing, continue.
You cracked up a bit.
Right. You're completely right, and it's interesting. There's quite a lot of hype now about, I don't know, you always see like blog posts or articles that are, the 5 habits that successful people do daily, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be more interesting, well, not more interesting, but interesting to see in this context, like, what are the 5 habits that, X Instagram model or X fitness model does daily that lead to a better physique? Because that's probably, rather than, oh, what's your specific diet plan, or how long do you train each day, or et cetera, like it's those habits, or probably what they're not doing as well, in that they're not going out every weekend. Huh?
That's huge. Like, I think it's so much easier in the world of fitness to get it wrong, and unfortunately, when it comes to physique goals, getting it wrong carries far more, let's just use the word weight again, than getting it right. Like, you can get it right for so long and see minor improvements. You can get it wrong for one day and it kind of like, oh shit.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so let's say that you go Monday to Friday and you're like really good, right? Classic situation, like you hit the gym, you eat well. Well, but let me just put it this way. It takes like 30 seconds to eat a Mars bar, and it takes like God knows how long to burn off the same amount of calories, if you want to think of it in simplistic terms. So you're far better off focusing on replacing bad habits with good, or trying not to do bad habits, then well, you're not better off. I'm confusing myself here now, but I
get, like, it's very easy to undo a week of very good habits with, you know, like one night out, or what can seem like, okay, well, I've eaten so well all week, and then you have like something on the weekend and you
right,
think
ESG, stay there 1 second. I'm gonna try and get a better signal because this is silly. Hang on a sec.
I can.
Mum.
That is a very good question, Niels. I'm gonna ask if Karl comes back.
Right. I'm moving. I'm trying to get a better signal. Oi, wow. Is that better?
Karl, I've got a question for you.
Oh, it's brighter.
Are you ready? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Right.
desperately trying to get a signal. I mean, for all those who don't know, I'm in like rural Norfolk, and it's just really not great. Well, that's better.
Okay, perfect. So the question we have are, what are the 5 habits that you two have adopted, and what, if anything, would you avoid?
Okay, well, hold on 1 sec. This is like professionalism on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's really great.
Okay, yeah, the internet's intermittent. I don't know what's going on tonight. Can you see me all right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, what's the question?
5 habits that you have adopted. Or maybe 5 things you do daily that you feel help your physique. Don't think.
Yeah. I'm going to have to guess what you just said. Okay. I think I heard 5 daily habits.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on with my internet. It's...
Yeah. We can actually hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you. Right, 5 daily habits. Okay, so I'm going to go with sleep.
Mm-hmm. How many hours?
Stay again?